Man, what a boring game, man. What a boring game. What if I told you a boring 1-0 win against a relegation side might have just decided the Premier League title? Would you believe that? Because that's exactly what just happened. Manchester City didn't dominate headlines today. They didn't destroy their opponent. They didn't even play their best football, but they did something far more dangerous. They won the game. They were not clinical today. But let's start with the game itself. Burnley versus Manchester City. A turf more. And honestly, the game was over before it even started. Inside the first 5, 6 minutes, Erling Haaland, that's what he does best. One chance, one finish, one goal. That's it. That's what he does. He don't need to dribble. He don't need to do that. Just give him the ball and he will just wish, wish, wish. One goal. And from that moment, you could already feel it. This was going to be one of those games. City to control, 60, 70, 80 position, 80% position, something like that. They were calm, patient passing, basically total control of the tempo. But here's the twist: they weren't clinical today. Haaland hit the post, chances came and go, and suddenly it's still 1-1, 1-0, 1-0. And you start to think, hold on, is there a twist coming? Because this wasn't vintage Man City. Without Roger in full control, their midfield looked slightly off rhythm. He was injured today, so they had to play Nico O'Reilly and Bernardo Silva in midfield. Two different players. Two different players. And yet, this is where champions are different. They don't need to be perfect. They just need to win. And that's exactly what Pep Guardiola's team did today. They controlled the game, killed the tempo, protect the lead. Professional, ruthless, efficiency. But let's give credits to Burnley. They didn't collapse today. They conceded way too early. They wanted to sit deep, protect, and go on in the last few minutes. But they didn't collapse. When they conceded the goal, they sat deep, defended with everything. And in the final few minutes, they actually pushed. Late crosses, pressure, chaos. But here's the harsh reality: they don't have the quality. That's why they're getting relegated. And now it's official. They get relegated because they don't have the quality. They created chances. They had one in that first half. They have one clear chance. All he has to do, the striker, I don't know his name. All he had to do was just hit it. That's all he had to do. It was this guy, Frimbo, whatever his name is, whatever his name is. That was the guy. He had a good chance, but he just that's the quality, man. It's all about quality. But now, this is where things get serious because this result it flips the entire race. Manchester City are now level on points with Arsenal, but I think they're ahead on goal difference or head to head. I believe they're on top because head to head. Yeah, same level, same difference, same goal difference. They're level on points. Same wins, same draws, same loses. And now, after Arsenal led the league for the most of the season, after all that consistency, they're now chasing. Put yourself in Arsenal's position. You have led the league for months. You believe this was your year. You believe this was your season. And now you're looking over your shoulder and it's them again, Manchester City. And here's the scary part. City don't panic in title races. They don't slip. They don't feel pressure. They apply it. Now Arsenal they have to win every single game, hope City drop points, and possibly fight on goal difference. Possibly. That's what they need to do. That's not control, that's survival. They need to survive now. They need to survive. But here's the big picture. This is what separates great teams from champions. City can win 4-0 and they can win like this today. Ugly, tight, boring, but effective. This is how titles are won. Not just big wins, not just like dominating your team. No, but small, ruthless moments. That's what decides the league. Uh, I'm taking too long on this, man. This was boring game, but it just had the magnitude of the game was so high that we didn't get what we wanted to get. We didn't see what we wanted to see. But in conclusion, so don't let the scoreline fool you. Burnley 0, 1 Manchester City might go down as the most important game of the season for Manchester City because now the momentum is gone from Arsenal. I'm fully with Manchester City. The momentum is gone from Arsenal. I'm fully with City. And if we have learned anything over the years, the last few years, what have we learned? When City smell the title, they don't let go. So the question is, can Arsenal respond, or are we about to watch another Manchester City title? Another Manchester City title, and exactly how it always ends. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this title race over? And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Ciao, ciao.